few years ago, there was a report that came out that said each year it is estimated that 1 million people commit suicide worldwide. It is a major cause of death in the developed world, especially among young people, which in a way is puzzling since, at least in a material sense, life has never been so good for so many. The authors of the report suggest that we are far more stressed than in former times, partly due to the fact that because of improved communication, we are far more aware of all the tragedies in the world. Wars, famines, natural disasters, threats to the environment, terrorism, and so on. And the truth is, the media loves bad news because it sells. All that is bad enough, but these authors claim that the main reason why all of these things get us down so much is that so many of us face these things alone. In the past, people had strong communities to belong to, close-knit and extended families, a sense of belonging to a town, a church, or other form of community. And for the most part, this simply isn't true today. Not in every case, but for the most part. Families break up or simply just don't spend time together. We now live in vast, anonymous housing developments, and many of our churches are not full. So many people face all these stresses and tragedies in life without the security of a loving, caring, safe environment. And so they find life hard to cope with. This weekend is the great feast of Pentecost, when we celebrate the birth of the community we call church, created by the Holy Spirit. Today we affirm that we believe in the Holy Spirit, the Lord and giver of life, who proceeds from the Father and the Son, who is worshipped and glorified, and who has spoken to the prophets. We say that every Sunday, but perhaps maybe a little louder today. The Lord and giver of life. But how does the Spirit give us life? The experts who produced the report that I referred to earlier perhaps can shed some light on this. They said that we all need to be educated in relationships. We need to learn how to make and sustain lasting, quality relationships. These experts who weren't the least bit religious said that if we are to have happy, fulfilled lives, we need to realize that external things like having more and more money, bigger homes, better cars, more exotic holidays aren't what make us happy in the end. Perhaps that is what St. Paul means when he says that self-indulgence is the opposite of the Spirit, leading to things like jealousy, quarrels, envy, and the idolatry of materialism. Again, according to the report, the things that make us happy and able to face the difficulties of life are that sense of belonging, a sense of community, a network of quality relationships. When they are in place, whatever is going on in the outside world, at least we have some measure of happiness in our own world, which in a way is exactly what we believe as Christians. St. Paul reminds us that the Spirit is our life. Jesus tells his disciples that they too will be his witnesses. They are drawn together into a community of love so that they can live out in their life together the love of God, to which they are bearing witness. Their actions reinforce their preaching. Put simply, you cannot be a Christian by yourself. When people say you don't need to go to church to pray, they may be right. But to be a Christian, we do need to belong to a community if we are to do what Jesus commanded. Celebrate the Eucharist, serve other people, and bear witness to him. That is why the church is called into being. And the same Spirit who gave the apostles the courage to preach in Jerusalem and beyond also enable us to be the Lord's witnesses to the people of our own time. But not alone. Belonging to a community is part of what it is to be human, as well as Christian. Part of what it is to have a happy, full, and fulfilled life. It is the Spirit who draws us into community and so gives us life. I will breathe into you, Spirit, and you will have life, God says. The same Holy Spirit who came upon the community of the apostles is given to us, to the community of baptism and confirmation. But the Spirit is given for a purpose, so that we too can witness to the risen Christ. The Spirit equips us for this mission by giving us the gifts that St. Paul calls. He talks about gifts like love, joy, patience, kindness, and so on. The very gifts that make community possible. These gifts are ours. We have them already. But we must cooperate with them if they are to be made manifest in our world. The gifts of the Spirit make no difference if not put to use. There is a power. There is a power within us, as mighty as a strong wind. And if we unleash that power, something new is unleashed into the world. And that is needed so much today. In her novel entitled The Stone Diaries, Carol Shields tells of an old woman who looks back over her long life and says, the loneliness of our lives evolves from our unwillingness to spend ourselves, to stir ourselves. We are always damping down our inner weather. So, as members of a faith community, let us spend ourselves for others. Let us stir ourselves into that profound love of God. A single act of love, a single act of kindness or courage can unleash that inner weather and renew both us and the world around us.